He dressed up like a construction. Oh my God. He dressed up like a construction worker to do construction in his house to hide the body. You deserve to go to jail. I can't believe I'm hearing this. All right, man. What to do, YouTube? It's your boy Key coming at y'all boys with a brand new video. And today, we back at it with y'all boys, man. The stories keep getting crazier and crazier as this goes on. You feel me? So, with that being said, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Get in that comment box. Tell me how you felt about this video. Let's check it out.
Police say that a man is in custody for allegedly killing his girlfriend. Investigators also believe that he went through a great ordeal to hide the body.
Inside the house, our homicide detectives and evidence team, along with the Prince George's County Fire Department, located Ms. Schuler's remains inside a newly constructed wall. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner determined that the victim had been shot.
What do you mean by that?
Behind me on this wall right here, and these stairs, you can see what they're looking at.
Bro, what?
Evidently.
I'm trying to make sure my mic right too, y'all. My bad. You know what I'm saying? I switched my setup a little bit. But who the fuck thought that this shit was gonna slide? It's a whole staircase in your house that you made a fake wall and hid the body.
Some major construction work was going on inside that house, and this is a shared residence of someone up top and someone at the bottom. And as you can see from this picture right here, what we've been allowed to show without compromising the early investigation of this case, it was there. A great amount of concealment, walls being torn out, trying to conceal Miss Alexis Schuler.
But my thing is this. Damn, how in the hell do you get at her after you try to put a restraining order on her? So you was like I'm gonna get you before you get me? Like, bro, what?
Really want to know your thoughts on. It's tragic to say the least, and it don't make no excuse for what took place. But a lot has went on that possibly could have been prevented. Today we visit a county in Maryland that, depending on where you at, one light and one intersection over, you'll be in Washington, D.C., Prince George's County, a place that's known to be the home of the NBA world champion, Kevin Durant. But unfortunately, in this video, we're not talking about basketball. Today, we talk about a young mom of 3 who was found deceased after being missing for 5 days, leaving her loved ones and community in shock. And the details surrounding her demise didn't make it no better. According to local authorities, take a look at this picture. This young lady's remains was found inside of a drywall. And oh yeah, the man suspected in her death is her baby father, who had sought a restraining order just 5
How in the hell did you think
days prior, only to be denied? And now he's arrested. Did the system fail him? What authorities had to say? What about the family of the suspect? What's the details surrounding her demise? In this video, we cover it all. So in this video, I plan on exploring the implications of restraining orders in domestic situations. Take a closer look at the home that was purchased in 2022, where a young girl was found deceased, and hear from the family grappling with the loss. We'll also hear from the law enforcement, from Prince George's County and the district attorney. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. So fam, first thing first, let's cover what is a restraining order, at least for the state of Maryland for this video. Maryland has 2 main types of restraining orders: interim, which is temporary, and final, protective orders. Interim orders can be issued quickly and last until a court hearing, while final orders can last up to 1 year or longer with renewal. To obtain a protective order, the petition.
You want to know what's crazy? How in the world does a restraining order only last a year? Like, it should last at least like 5 years or so. And then anytime that person feels like they want to remove the restraining order, they can. Now, I always say this in every video. If you go back and check a lot of my other videos, you'll hear me say this. Restraining orders only matter to those people who follow the law. To those people who don't want to go to jail behind a restraining order. Those are the only people who restraining orders matter to, because it's just a piece of paper, bro. It's a piece of paper saying that you can't be within this certain distance of an address, a person, or so on and so forth. That only matters to those who it matters to. It really don't do shit. You feel me? But it leaves a paper trail, which makes me like side-eye this.
Or must have a specific relationship with the person they want a restraining order on, like being a current or former spouse, or even someone they share a child with. But here's the thin line. Grounds for insurance. A protective order can be issued if there is evidence of abuse, which includes physical harm, threats of harm, or harassment. So now we got the basics of what a protective order is. Before we continue with the video, I want to say one last thing concerning protective orders. The filing process can be a hassle. If you know, petitions can be filed for protective orders in the district court or circuit court. It's advisable to seek legal counseling by a judge during this process, even before that take place. So now that's squared away. Less than 24 hours of me doing this video, a Maryland man has been arrested for the murder of his girlfriend inside his home in Capitol Heights. His girlfriend happens to be his baby mother as well. The suspect is 30 years old, identified as Devontae Gray of Capitol Heights, Maryland. He's charged with murdering his 29-year-old baby mother, a mom of 3, Alexis Schuler of Washington, D.C. Now, D.C. Police Department had contacted Prince George's County Police Department for assistance in a missing persons investigation. Alexis was initially reported missing to police by her mother, Tawana, on January 14, 2025. Her mother stated she had not seen her daughter since January 10, 2025, around 6 p.m. The descendant was last seen departing from her residence in Southeast D.C. with her boyfriend in his blue pickup truck. But see, here's the backstory. As part of that investigation, the Prince George's County Police Department executed a search warrant at the home of Gray on January 19, 2025 in Capitol Heights. Authorities were able to locate Alexis' remains according to authorities. Gray made extensive efforts to hide the victim's body inside his home. It was later determined that...
But my thing is this, my nigga. Why would you try to hide it in the house? Like, that ain't somewhere they gonna come. They ain't gonna come in your house and smell a rotten human. Like, come on, like, nigga, throw it in a ditch somewhere, cover it up in a junkyard, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, place the body in something, not at your house.
Them had been shot in the head. May she rest in peace and level condolences to her family. But see, according to charging documents, Gray was pictured on surveillance video going in and out his home with construction materials while dressed in a full-body construction suit with gloves between January 12th to 13th of 2025. The materials appeared to be cement, sheetrock, cylinder blocks, chemicals.
He dressed up like a construction... Oh my God. He dressed up like a construction worker to do construction in his house to hide the body. You deserve to go to jail. I can't believe I'm hearing this. I literally can't believe... Bro, what?
In large black storage containers and plastic bags. Now, I can't say the full address,
I ain't gonna lie.
But this house we about to mention
there's nothing that you could have done or she could have done that makes me believe.
Check out some pictures of the inside as I continue with the details.
There's nothing she
officials executed a welfare check on January 14, 2025 on a 700 block on Larchmont Avenue in Capitol Heights. Upon arrival, officers noted a, quote, weird smell when entering the residence, but believed the dirty condition of the residence was to blame. You can only imagine how that house looked now compared to how it would look when he first bought it. Now, authorities returned to the home on January 19, 2025, 5 days later, and located a semi-automatic handgun inside the residence, along with fresh drywall, acetone, lemon, ammonia, and other cleaning construction items in the duplex. Apparently, this is a house where some live downstairs and some live upstairs. Members of the Prince George's County Fire Department and other officials assisted in removing drywall in the residence, where a, quote, makeshift tom was discovered under the stairs.
Look, twin, you gotta lock in. You fucking up all your words. Attune, my nigga. Calm down. You know what I'm saying?
Now, for those who don't know what that is, like I didn't before doing this video, a synonym is like burying place. It's a large stone structure or underground room where someone, especially an important person, is buried. Now, according to authorities, a foot was visible and believed to belong to Alexis. Gray was taken...
Oh my God. Then you didn't even hide the body well. You ain't put it in a bag. You didn't do none of that. You just got the foot hanging out. Like,
to custody of the scene. He confessed to murdering Alexis. Authorities believe he killed the victim during the dispute. He was charged with first-degree M and related charges.
The house looked nice,
but it's
though. It
also
looked
important
crazy
to know
on the
this.
outside, but
On
it
the
looked
9th,
decent on the
Gray
inside.
had called authorities to his house in Capitol Heights for a restraining order. He wasn't given one. And since we know all the facts now, I wanted you guys to hear from the DA, the police, and the family. It was an hour-long press conference. We're going to chop down about 15 minutes. Check it out.
But he didn't even get rid of the steps. You made a wall where the stairs are and then get rid of the bottom of the... You got the steps sticking out the wall. This guy is not the sharpest tool in the shed. That's why you got caught.
Press conference. We're going to chop down about 15 minutes. Check it out.
I'm going to introduce now our chief of police, Malik
They probably would have
Aziz.
still went and looked at some pictures of the house and seen that there's supposed to be a staircase right there. But you got stairs hanging out the wall. Genius.
Yeah. You guys gonna come over here? I don't wanna. It's a lot of movement going on. Okay. All right. Good morning.
Yeah, get them all in check, OG.
Thank you guys for being here. This morning I'll be addressing a homicide that took place in Capitol Heights, Maryland, that has left our community in shock and a family in mourning. On January 18th, the Metropolitan Police Department of DC contacted the Prince George's County Police for assistance locating Alexis Schuler, who had been reported missing on January 14th. With the assistance of Police Chief Daryl Morgan in the Capitol Heights Police Department, the Prince George's County Police Department issued a search warrant at the home of Devontae Gray of Larchmont Avenue in Capitol Heights. While inside the house, our homicide detectives and evidence team, along with the Prince George's County Fire Department, located Ms. Schuler's remains inside a newly constructed wall. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner determined that the victim had been shot. Devontae Gray was taken into custody at the scene. During questioning, Gray confessed to murdering Ms. Schuler and was charged with first-degree murder and related charges. Gray is now in the custody of Prince George's County Department of Corrections. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victim's family and the loved ones during this difficult time. Some of the family members are here today. Last year, there were 21 domestic-related homicides in our county, indiscriminately affecting families across all demographics of race, age, and socioeconomic status. Each act of violence shatters lives, leaves behind deep pains that last for generations to come. We must speak out against this violence, especially domestic violence that steals our safety, our feeling of safety, our security. Some of these things I talked about just last week. Crimes are not just stats to us.
Aunt Kizzy, cousin Derek,
He looks like that one actor.
cousin
Do y'all know who I'm talking
Sade,
about?
and cousin Dwayne.
If you do, put his name in the comment section. I don't know.
Derek has a statement he'd like to read.
On behalf of our family, we want to express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who came together in the search for Alexis Schuler. Although the outcome is not what we had hoped, we take solace in knowing that Alexis has been found and we now have the closure to lay her to rest in peace. We want to extend a special thank you to Detective Howard for his unwavering dedication, even taking calls on his days off and collaborating tirelessly with the Prince George's County Police Department. We also deeply appreciate the efforts of Corporal Laurie, Detective Stout Marshall, and Officer Montgomery, who worked diligently to bring answers to our family. We are profoundly grateful to my mom, Kizzy, our cousin at the Wright Family Foundation, Ward 8 Councilman Trayon White, cousins Monet, Kunaje, and
Trayon
Alexis
White,
Angels.
ain't that Ain't that the dude who got indicted for stealing the money or getting bribed and faking like he was finna do things for people that he didn't do?
Her close friends, Jayla, London, Deja, Michael, and Dabrion, as well as the many strangers who shared posts and prayed for Alexis. Your support and compassion mean more than words can express. It is because of your collective efforts that Alexis was found and her case was solved in record time. This list of thank yous is long because it truly took a community coming together to give us the closure we needed. Alexis will be deeply missed, and there is a void in our family that can never be filled. Her 3 children will no
That's the
longer
craziest part though. She got 3
feel
kids.
their mother's embrace
That's what I
or
be
hear their
hating. I be
mother's
hating
voice.
that they left with
And all
no
she
parents
wanted
because of you.
was to come home to them. We want to take this moment to shed light on the reality of domestic violence.
How long he gonna be talking?
Alexis' story is appreciation. It's true.
Leading up to this tragedy that I know that she didn't report missing, but any kind of sign ahead of time or any kind of domestic violence, protective orders in place or anything like that. And if you could talk a little bit just about the relationship with the
Well, let me say they do share a child together. And that's why we have called it domestic. Any indication I think you heard before from Chief Morgan, from the state attorney, Brave Boy, it is domestic violence is real. People are, whether they're calling the police or they're letting family members know, it's very real. So,
okay, so I don't know if he knows or not about the restraining order, but why was the restraining order put in? What was the reason that he put the restraining order in, or what did he cite for his reason for wanting a restraining order, and why was it denied? This is the question that these people want to know. Now, at this point in time, he might not know this, so I ain't gonna fault him for it, but that's what I want to know. Answer the questions that we would want to know as the public, as her loved ones. Like, what would they want to know? Because we know what the fuck domestic violence is. Because you're not
there's
really saying
always
nothing.
an indication when someone is involved in domestic situations that it won't end, well. It's going to be a problem, and so I can safely, say that. If you want to talk about, more specifics about that address, then I have Chief Morgan here. He may want to address part of
that. Just briefly, we had a few calls to that residence over the last 6 to 8 months. Dealing with those individuals, but nothing noteworthy that would have leveled up to an arrest or an investigation. Basically, just complaints on one another.
So she don't live there though. So why would she call the police to his house?
I believe he sought protective order to charge her.
Thank you.
State's attorney, I see, is that you get up as well. For you as well.
I was just going to.
Do your officers advise in these situations? I mean.
Well, can I just say this? From what we can see, that the protective orders that he sought were not granted, that there was essentially no legal basis to grant the protective order. So people can seek protective orders, and actually the standard is relatively low to get a protective order. So I think it is significant that he was not granted a protective order when he sought it.
Because that's like him, like, regardless of him, he shot her in the head. So regardless, I don't necessarily know if, like, how they gonna try to play that as self-defense, because you shot her in the head. It wasn't like you shot her in the arm, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you tried to kill her by doing that one. You feel what I'm saying? So the district attorney, she can't get a full sentence out without stuttering and then saying the first 3 words that she said of her sentence on loop like a broken record. I don't know why she was so nervous to say what she said, but if the basis to get a protective order is so low and he still didn't do it, but he sought out multiple, why are you denying his protective order? He does not want this person around him. and ends up killing that person. So you're gonna charge him, and his lawyer's gonna bring up all those protective orders that he tried to get, and they gonna probably run the self-defense, and they might get it.
Yeah, I have a question on this. I mean, after she was already gone by the time police were called in, right? I think it's been believed in this case.
Our first visit in the month of January was on January 9th, where we actually saw her driving by the residence when we responded to his call for complaint. So she was alive. We know on January 9th. On the 14th, when we went back for a welfare check based on a request from MPD, there was nobody in the house at the time when we went to that location.
How much effort was there required to find the body inside that stairwell?
Well, as you know, and this is a legal standard, we can't just go into the house without a search warrant. And the Prince George's County Police Department was able to obtain one and go through that process of identifying the location.
Yeah, I guess subsequent to that, after that happened, when you knew that there could be a body somewhere inside the house, like what drew you to the stairwell, and how hard was it to discover the body inside?
I'm going to turn it over to the chief in a second, but I do want to say this. We worked very quickly with the Metropolitan Police Department, who in turn worked very quickly with Prince George's County. You're talking probably less than 5 days, which seems like a lot, but it's very quickly for investigation. And based on evidence and video and so forth, the county was able to get county police was able to get a search warrant. But until
that's
then,
not what he asking, dumbass. Like, bro. And this is why, like, political figures, public figures, like, most of them, like, it's like, what are you here for? You can't answer a simple question. He's saying, after you got the search warrant, when you went into the house, what made you go to this stairwell, this hidden wall, this newly built wall? What made y'all be like, okay, boom, let's tear this down right here? That's what he just asked you. I picked that up and I can barely hear him. What the fuck you keep talking about a warrant for?
We were in the house when the house was vacant.
Like, I hate
and
when
on the 14th, we didn't see any evidence of foul play.
One question, just to be clear, Ray and Julia had a child together. With that being said, with this, I know the county's in regards to addressing family violence, what does this fall under that?
This is domestic violence. It could be family, could be intimate partner. There's an indication that they were not necessarily still in a girlfriend-boyfriend type relationship, but they do have a child in common. So we still consider her a special victim, which is why our special victims unit is handling the prosecution of the case. But this is violence against a woman who was 29 years old, who deserved to be here. She was a mother of three. So it's, classifying it one way or another is I mean, I think it's important for statistical purposes, but for the human purpose, I mean, it almost doesn't matter. She should be here. Yes.
Did Ms. Schuler live in a residence with Mr. Ray, and who reported her missing?
From my understanding, she did not live in that residence, that she was a resident of the District of Columbia. And I don't know if someone from MPD wants to share. Oh, they're not. Okay. So I don't have her specific residence, but my understanding is that she's a resident of the District of Columbia, and that's why she was reported missing.
Now, as we wrap up this deeply impactful discussion, fam, it's clear. This story we explored is not just a singular tragedy, but a reflection of complexity surrounding DV and the legal protections available. The heartbreaking loss of a mother and the unanswered questions about the restraining order process highlight the urgent need for a system change and the increased support for those in vulnerable situations. Nonetheless, this young woman ain't deserve to lose her life in such gruesome fashion. Alexis, rest in peace once again. And love and condolences to her family. Fam, if you or someone you know is facing similar challenges, remember that help is available in some way. Don't hesitate to reach out to your local resources, shelters, or legal aid services. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today, I'll catch you guys.
All right, man. So this is my little synopsis or whatever you want to call it about this video. But it's just like, it's kind of throwing me off a little bit because it's like, why are y'all not granting a protective order? for the most part, bro, it shouldn't be no reason that he can't get a protective order against somebody, especially in a domestic situation, being that domestic violence is a real thing. As y'all are highlighting in this key points in your press conference, domestic violence, domestic violence, domestic violence, but getting a protective order to probably avoid said violence, like what? And then my question to this also is, how did she get in the house? Like, he's letting her in the house even though he's trying to pull a protective order out, which also makes me look at him like, were you doing this to try to cover your back when something happened to her? Or was it something that you actually wanted and just couldn't get? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was kind of fishy. We know covering up the murder, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just trying to cover your back, this, that, and the third, it is what it is. But it's a lot of things that kind of make you look at him sideways, like, why did you do what you did? At least in my eyes, you feel me? So with that being said, bro, I think the smart thing to do, or, you know what I'm saying, the only thing that'll probably work out in his favor at this point, because he did try to conceal the murder, this, that, and the third, he should have probably called the police when it first happened. It would have made more sense. Things would have lined up for him a lot better. He can try to get off on manslaughter, try to say it was self-defense, and try to get all the way off, but I doubt that, because of the way that she died. You shot her in the head, bro. It wasn't like you were trying to get her off of you or none of this shit. You shot her in the head. Now, the distance in which you shot her in the head is also going to be a key factor, because if you were very, very close, it's unlikely you're going to get off on, well, it's gonna be depending on where you shot her from. If you shot her in the back of the head, execution style, no. If you shot her like right in the face, like maybe, you feel me? But who knows? You might get lucky, might get off on manslaughter, like a little 12 to 15, 10 to 20, or whatever it is in Prince George's County. Y'all let me know, man. It's your boy Key checking in, checking out. We gone.